Hi, welcome back to Fixed Dish, everybody. I got my 2018 Escape, and we are going to do a transmission fluid change. Recently changed the motor, which I did a trans fluid then, but I have a stutter or a shudder that happens between 50 to 70 mile an hour. It will shudder while on the throttle, but the moment you let off the throttle, it smooths right out. From what I've gathered online, a lot of people have said with transmission flushes, they have improved this issue or solved it. By doing some of my research, there's about a 9-quart dry fill. So the very first time you fill the transmission, you would put about 9 quarts in. When you do the fluid changes on these, when you drain and fill, you can only put in about 5 quart. And so you're not actually changing all the fluid out. And the only way to change the fluid is if you have like a fluid exchange machine, like at a dealership. Otherwise, you would exchange it via dilution. So you would change your fluid and then drain it after you run it for a while, and then change your fluid again. From what I gather, a lot of people say that it's about 3 fluid changes before it's fully changed. But given the problem I'm experiencing with the shudder, I'm hoping that changing the fluid out makes the transmission engage better and my problem goes away. So today we're going to change the fluid on this, and I'd like to go into detail about how to do that fluid change and also check the level, because it's a little weird. There's no dipsticks on these, and the way you check it's kind of strange, but still very, very simple. So let's get after it. Alright, so I'm back from my last trip. You can see how that fluid is still dark. So we're going to drain and fill this one more time. But I'm also going to rotate my tires to see if the vibration goes somewhere else. If nothing else, you guys are learning in this video how to change out your transmission fluid. And we're going to do the PTU fluid as well. I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to let this drain out for a while. Give it, 10 minutes or so for it to drain out all the clutch packs and all that kind of stuff. Might take a few minutes. So while that's doing its thing, we're going to jack up the car on all 4, and we're going to rotate all the tires. Alright, so now that we got the final drain done, got a little thread seal. I put it in there hand tight. Give it a couple turns past hand tight. And don't put it on super tight. It's only like 100 inch-pounds or something like that. So it's not very tight. There we go. And again, we're gonna pull our vent back off. There we go. Got our vent pulled back off. Let's fill it up. There we go. This flows pretty good. And we're going to put in 4.5. So this stuff expands quite a bit compared to most other ATFs. And so we will fill this, we will run it up to full temperature, and then we'll do our final adjustment. And the way you do the adjustment on this is extremely interesting. It's different than most transmission fill checks. That Allen-headed plug right there is what we check the fluid. You're gonna check it running. Yeah, it's not a really good way to get to it. You're gonna check it running at ride height. We need to get a relative ride height, which for us is, at least at this point right here, like 11 inches or so. Oh, it's hard for you to see. We'll call that 11 inches. There's a jack point right underneath here. You can see it's a solid metal part of the frame. About straight in from here. That's the plug right there that we're gonna take off. It's 10mm Allen. I've seen some videos where they're on this side. On mine, we're on that side. So now that we have that plug off, we're gonna have to get to our proper ride height, which, if you remember, was about 11 inches. So we need to lower ourselves down. And we're not dripping anymore. You can see her sitting right there, about perfect. So from there we can cap that off, put the tire back on, and the transmission fill is done. Okay, so this is gonna be a T50, yeah, T50. So it is Torx, and we're gonna undo the fill hole first. Oh, that's on there tight. Tight. So got that broke loose. Oh boy, that's in there tight. That's unreasonable. So yeah, I got my 1/2 inch out on that, just to break it loose. Okay, let's go ahead and take our upper plug out. Okay, nothing came out, that's good. Now the one we're concerned about is if metal comes out of this one. If it does, I'm gonna be upset. Here we go. That wasn't much. This is mostly graphite-like material. So that's fairly normal, actually. Yeah, that's all the graphite-like material. That's all there was. That's actually fairly normal. I really wish I had a car lift. How cool that'd be. This is stupid how I'm doing this, but it works. At least it's not a lot. Just hard to do it through a 5/16 line. From what I understand from watching a few other people, they only put in about 1/2 quart, 2 pints. I don't know how many liters that is, 1 point something or other. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, yeah, we're full. Sweet. That makes me feel good. We'll let that level off. Okay. Okay. That's in there tight. Hey everybody, appreciate you guys watching that video about changing your transmission fluid and PTU fluid. One of the things I wanted to point out and kind of summarize is when the transmission is filled for the first time from the factory, it is about a 9-quart capacity. For you to do subsequent oil changes afterwards, you can only drain and add about 4.5 quarts at a time. So you can't exactly change all the fluid out in one go. So the only way to really successfully change the fluid out completely is to do it through dilution. So you would drain the fluid, fill it, run it around up to full temp, get 10-15 miles on it, drain again, fill again. You can do that approximately 2 to 3 times, and essentially you would get all the fluid exchanged out and any of the contamination. The only other way to do a better job would be through like a fluid exchange system. Some of the dealerships have these. They basically would hook them up through your like transmission cooler lines, and they'd be able to run a lot of fluid through to make an effective flush of the transmission. But this is a fairly reasonable way to do it. It's about $100 worth of Mercon LV fluid. I was able to change the fluid twice, and you could see that it was a little bit on the dark side. Fairly common for Mercon LV. It breaks down easy, turns dark easy. And then as far as the PTU goes, it's 75-140 full synthetic. The book does recommend way beyond what is accepted as the service life for Mercon LV, and that's about 30,000 miles is what you should be doing it. So if you're well beyond that, okay, but just go ahead and get it done. Now, the reason why I went about changing this fluid and why the footage is not exactly very clean as far as a how-to video goes is originally I was trying to figure out what a vibration was on my vehicle. And it's very common to have a torque converter shudder. And that's when the torque converter lockup solenoid is locking and unlocking. And it kind of makes it feel like the car is jerking or shuddering. One of the dead giveaways I found out during some of my research is if you're driving down the road and you're holding a constant RPM, the RPM will actually move a little bit, and that would be the shudder you're feeling. So if that's something that you're experiencing, it's very possible it's a transmission shudder. And the simplest way and one of the cheaper ways to try to solve that would be through changing your transmission fluid or trying to flush it as best you can. So this video should aid you in doing that repair. Hopefully it does. Otherwise, if you'd like to see some of the other things I went through to try to get my vibration figured out, click some of these videos up in the corner. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this helps you out, and we'll see you guys next time on Fixed-ish.